What's up, everybody? This is Zack, aka Zachy, creator of Jet Lag Radio and many more podcasts on the website Zack.coffee. That's ZACK.CUFFE. Zachy is my real name. Zack is my nickname. It's what I go by because obviously I face discrimination in the workplace. Anyway, guys, this video is for yesterday, Monday, the 12th of 2025. And we're going to go ahead and go straight into it because there's obviously a couple of quick minor details I have to get into, and then I have to record my next video in French for Tuesday, for today, May 13th, because it is 513 day in Cincinnati, in Ohio. I'm wearing my Who Day Cincinnati Bengals hat. Who Day obviously is WHODEY. Who Day, thinking on being them Bengals, and we hope for them to have a wonderful season when they get back to the summer and into football season for NFL. Anyway, guys, I'm wearing my Cristiano Ronaldo Al Nasser jersey, and a big shout out to him because, as you know, right now, 47 Trump is in Saudi Arabia, and he's trying to get a couple ordeals taken care of. Obviously, he's trying to get some of that Saudi money, but nevertheless, if we can finally get together and agree to get a peace process done in Israel-Palestine, it would be a huge. It would really mean a lot for the region. Everyone is waiting for a peace plan. Saudi Arabia was working on it. Egypt was working on it. Jordany was working on it. So it's really important that this thing gets taken care of. I'm also watching Gran Turismo. Happy birthday to Gran Turismo, 27 years on PlayStation 1. And be sure to watch Gran Turismo, the movie, on Netflix because it's leaving Netflix pretty soon. It's a great movie to own, by the way. And be sure to play Gran Turismo 7 on the PlayStation 5. Amazing game. I love the game. I have it myself. One of the favorite things I like to do whenever I'm stressed out and I want to let out blow up some steam, I just play with one of my favorite cars, and I just go on the Nürburgring, and I try to play on hard settings with the temperature change. So, you play during daylight when it's sunny, then you try to play it when there's a little fog, then you play when there's a weather storm, when it's pouring down rain, and it's the hardest track in the world, and you're in the Nürburgring, and you're inside your Nissan Skyline GTR, or you're inside your Mercedes AMG 63, or if you're in these are just samples. Like, we don't know if all these new cars are still not into Gran Turismo as of yet. The Audi RS are not in Gran Turismo yet, but we hope that the RS3, RS4, RS5, RS6 Avant, and RS7 will be in Gran Turismo sometimes. The Porsche Panamera GTS, I would love to see it inside Gran Turismo. And obviously all of the BMW M3, M4s. I want to see the M5 Touring into Gran Turismo. All right, let's go ahead and get right into the jiffy. We have the first story is from The Economist. The Medicaid calculus behind Donald Trump's tax cuts. Republicans want to save billions through Medicaid work requirements. Millions could lose coverage. This is really sad. Be sure to check out this story. Up next, more young people are getting cancer. It changes everything. This is by 1843 Mag, which is also with Netflix. I'm sorry, not Netflix. I should turn off the TV now that the movie's done. The Economist. Up next from the Economist podcast, is now the time for a nuclear deal? I presume this is this pushing with the Iranians? This is for the Iranian. It's hard to push for a deal because all of the Western nations, 55 leaders, were in for the Pope's funeral, and then all of a sudden Iran was on fire. So it's really tough to get that Iranian nuclear peace deal right now. So we need to show respect to the Iranians to get that done, or else we'll never get the Iranian nuclear peace deal done ever. All right. Um, Up next, a landmark $1 billion deal between Qatar, JTA investment, and Vietnam's VinFast signals deepen ties between Gulf investors and Southeast Asia's EV industry. Explore EIU's latest insights on how Gulf capital is adapting to a decarbonizing global economy. This is from the Economist Intelligence Unit. Be sure to check it out. Very great organization, lots of amazing reports, the EIU. Up next, when you're asked to meet impossible goals, this is from the Harvard Business Review. Really great article. Be sure to read it. You get this happens to you, it happens to me as well. I'm asked to just meet impossible goals without any help. Like right now, I haven't received my $500 or $800 monthly allowance for the past 6 months, which means I'm about $6,000 to $7,000 in the minus, and it's really tough on me. That means a half a year without no income. And please remember what I mentioned was that my wife makes before tax she makes like $9,500 per month. After tax, it's like something like $3,000 because of all the tax and mortgage and all this and that. But she makes more in a year. She makes more in a month than I make in a year. In a year, I make zero, and in a month, she makes more than all that. So that's why I say I really need help, and I was really upset at Capital Pro Bono for not returning my phone calls when I said I needed a pro bono lawyer, or I needed a public defender for this divorce court. So I'm really, really sad, and I hope something happens so I can, go for an appeal before I have until July. So I really need someone to help me. Anyway, BBC News is saying that Gaza parents desperate as children face starvation under Israel blockade. Very sad story. Be sure to read it right now. Up next, Xi Jinping defiance pays off as Trump meets most China trade demands. This is from Bloomberg. This goes to show that, China knew that Trump was full of shit, and they called Trump his bluff when it came to the tariffs. And now Trump learned the hard way. Up next, Japan's finance minister wants to discuss Forex with peasants at G7. This is from Reuters. Be sure to check that out. Up next, live, Israel forces bomb Gaza's Nasser's hospital, killing a journalist. This is from Al Jazeera News. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. Up next, is Jeff Bezos selling out the Washington Post? How the paper that brought down Richard Nixon is struggling to survive the second term of Donald Trump. This is by the New Yorker. Be sure to check it out. A great, important story. Up next, Afghanistan International. U.S. engages with Taliban over terror threats, hostage releases. Very important story. After that, we have a story from Politico. HIV patients in Ukraine face treatment apocalypse as U.S. funds in limbo. So be sure to read out that story. There'll be like a very important story on Thursdays for medical journals. There's a great news story from Forgotten Medical Journals that says essentially HIV is now a cured disease because of the new miraculous medication that is available for those people that are facing that terrible disease. So amazing news from the medical community. Awesome. We'll talk about it more on Thursday. Up next, Duolingo is replacing hearts with energy. The app is getting a big change to try and encourage you to keep learning. This is from The Verge. Check it out. Up next, Americans have tuned out Gaza at the worst possible moment from Vox. This is very sad. People are starting to care more about Gaza in the past, and all of a sudden they're starting to tune out and they're not paying attention on the news because, for example, if you can't afford YouTube TV anymore, if you can't afford cable anymore, you don't watch cable news, you don't watch Al Jazeera News, you don't watch France 24, you don't watch BBC World News, you don't watch MSNBC or CNN, you can, because of news fatigue, and those people are suffering. Let's not forget there's been 60,000 dead people in Palestinian territories. This is a horrible genocide, and something needs to be done. Up next, Google I/O 2025. How to watch all the AI and Android reveals. This is by TechCrunch. Check it out. Up next by MIT Technology Review, a new AI translation system for headphones, clones multiple voices and simultaneously. This is great. Up next from Business Insider, Amazon strikes a new partnership with FedEx after UPS pullback. Now that UPS is not going to work with Amazon as much, FedEx is going to work with them more. Up next, I have an article from La French Tech Alps Annecy. Big shout out to them back in France, and I hope to return. My trip was very short last time, but I hope to return and see if anyone's willing to invest in my startup, Zack Technology LLC, or if they need me for any of their companies as a project manager. Up next, Biden destroyed Harris's bid by staying in the race too long. Top advisor says in book. David Plouffe says Biden totally fucked us and calls Harris's 107-day sprint against Trump a fucking nightmare. This is by The Guardian. Really important story. It goes to show that unfortunately Biden did not decide to leave the race earlier in the presidential race, and unfortunately he waited too late. By the time that he left, there was only a couple days left, and it was essentially about like 3 months left, and that's how Kamala Harris lost, and it was really sad for all of us. Up next from New York Times, we're starting to move everything. Trump's China deals freeze up shipping. Now that the tariffs or battle clash is calmed, now it seems that everyone is nice and charming, and now they're shipping from China to the United States. There's lots of shipping going on now, so that's great. Up next, from Huffington Post, shocking video shows armed boys 7 and 9 instead of with New Mexico deputies. This is ridiculous. You know, children who are that young should not have access to firearms, and they should not be trained on arms. This is very difficult. Whoever their parents are is really some terrible parenting. This is ridiculous. Up next, Trump sides with the Israeli people against Netanyahu. Most Israelis want to end the war, but their prime minister does not. This is by The Atlantic, and we're going to start my Psycho Japan watch right now, and we're going to say, the clock is ticking. Now, thank God, I'm wearing a Saudi Arabian football soccer jersey, so I'm going to say, thank Allah, and thank God, thank Jesus and Buddha, thank Optimus Prime, thank Yoda, Star Wars, thank the light side, whatever. Please, this is a very important moment. Now, the whole world, over 200 countries in the United Nations in Geneva together, over the International Criminal Court, the International Criminal Justice Court, ICC, ICJ, Interpol, which is all the police around the world, Interpol red notice. They're considering a red notice on Netanyahu. Everybody on earth is, even most mafia and mobsters, literally the Jewish mafia thinks that they're stronger than all the other mafia around the world. They think they're stronger than the Italian mafia. They think they're stronger than the triads in China. They think they're stronger than the Yakuzas. Are you serious? The Mossad thinks they're stronger than Yakuzas. Netanyahu lost his mind over here. He's crazy. So please, now the whole goddamn world, and now even Trump and the Israel people are now all against Netanyahu. So now we have to kick Netanyahu out of there and then let in a new president with Yam Lapid, whatever the hell his name is. He wanted to be. He's in the minority party of Israel. So maybe put him as the leader. But we have to get rid of Netanyahu. Netanyahu is worse than Satan. It's just ridiculous. So we have to end that war. The war has to end. You can't just keep bombing a population over nothing. Some representative talked about it on television. How are you fighting Hamas terrorists if you're shooting children in the skull? That's not the same thing. That's not saving the world. That's not, fighting terrorists. It's ridiculous. All right, I got to move on. Having more babies isn't the only answer. This is from Washington Post now. It appears that because less and less people are having babies in America, Trump is having an initiative to give couples like $5,000 to have babies. So very important thing. Like I want a baby, but right now I'm going through a divorce, so I have to wait till I get remarried again, and then hopefully eventually get to that point. But that's a whole other story. Up next, Germans' opinion of Israel has deteriorated. This is Le Monde. Yeah, the Germans are really upset at Israel because they're saying that Israel is now the new Nazi. Israel is acting like Nazi against Palestinians. It's ridiculous. It's really bad. Up next, The Office spin-off brings back a classic Scranton character. This is from Mashable. Be sure to check that out. Up next, Makiki Day out at a Berlin Sex Tech Festival. This is from Vice News. Be sure to check that out. That's not safe for work. Google worried it could not control how Israel used Project Nimbus. Files reveal internal Google documents show that the tech giant feared it would not be able to monitor how Israel might use its technology to harm Palestinians. So now, not Satya Nadella. Satya Nadella is Microsoft. Sundar Pichai of Google didn't pay attention how advanced its technology was of Project Nimbus with Google. And that technology, Project Nimbus, was used to cage Palestinians, to kill Palestinians, to torture Palestinians. And now he's having setbacks. So now, tell Google CEO he's really need to understand what the fuck he's doing here. It's really dangerous. Up next, when elephant moms needs help, nannies step in. This is from Nat Geo. Up next, NPR listeners share their best money savings hacks at the grocery store. This is NPR. Up next, from Cap Radio News, do not underestimate the dangers of local waterways, expects warns. Up next, Y a-t-il un axe Washington-Moscow? This is Le Monde Diplomatique. This is French diplomats, so be sure to read that article if you speak French. They also have an option to read those articles in English, so be sure to check that out. Up next, what is the risk of a conflict spiral between India and Pakistan from foreign policy? Thank God there was a ceasefire between both countries. Thank God. It would have been really bad. It would have been really bad. Play cricket 24 on the PlayStation 5 instead. It's a whole lot more fun. You'll have more fun together. Up next, the Technopolar Paradox, the frightening fusion of tech powers and state powers from Foreign Affairs. Very good, long-read article. Check it out. Up next, The Diplomat. Yeah, I just spoke about that. India and Pakistan agreed to ceasefire. Thank you. Up next, listening to a top army officer and the Secretary of Defense. This is from Cypher Brief. Very important article. If you know Stephanie at Cypher Brief, I lost my membership. It's very expensive. It's like $100 or $200 a year. I can't afford it anymore. Please send me a new membership, like gift me a membership. You have my email address. I would love to read the whole website in its full again. So it would mean a lot. Up next, guerre informationnelle russe, parier dans les pas d'un groupe d'enquêteurs proche de Washington, intelligence online on French. Be sure to check out the article. Very important. Up next, the molecular bond that helps secure your memories, Quantum Magazine. Check it out. Next, we have an article from the LHC at CERN in French. Check it out. After that, we have NASA's web reveals new details, mysteries in Jupiter's aura from NASA. So be sure to check that out. All right, guys, this is it for this video from Monday. It's from yesterday, from Monday. Happy 513 day in Cincinnati area in Ohio. I miss Cincinnati very much. I was never able to return. I never could afford. Once I moved to California, I was thought, one day I'll be back in Ohio and see everybody, or go to a couple places. I never got to go back to the the Forest Fair Mall in Cincinnati, downtown, kind of like downtown. Not so much downtown, more like the Winton Woods area, where I had coffee for the first time when I was 18. I used to sit and write my journal and just chilling out there and checking out the libraries, checking out bookstores and things like that. I used to work at a bookstore too. And then for Columbus, I need to be on campus. I need to see the crowd. Can't wait to watch football season, all this and that. It's been too long. But that's for 614 day. This was for Columbus. This is 513 day. This is for the Cincinnati Bengals. So we'll have to go back to Winton Woods Park. And the Winton Woods High School has now gotten grandiose. They have big budgets and all that, and their team win lots of awards, and they have trophies, cases, and all that. So very interesting. But yeah, here's my Cincinnati Reds hat, and I hope that when I can afford to, I will go to a Reds game. But right now I cannot. I can only afford maybe a couple baseball cards. All right, guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm wearing my thehero.co company bracelet. Every time you buy a bracelet from those guys, they pair a veteran suffering from PTSD with a service dog. Really cool organization. They're not sponsored with me at all whatsoever. I just like their cause, and I mention their cause because it's a really good organization. Wearing my Psycho Japan watch. You know, I love Psycho Japan. And let's reset that watch again. We're very excited for the release of Death Stranding 2. It's going to be in 44 days. 44 days. 44 days. I cannot wait. It's coming soon, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys. I have my Gould. If you're some of my Ghost Recon fans, don't worry. We'll play Ghost Recon Breakpoint some more. I have not that much bandwidth to live stream, so I have to find a way to force my dad to listen to please get us the unlimited Xfinity. Hopefully it's cheaper so I can stream as much as I want for all kind of content without losing the bandwidth. Okay. Love you guys. Eating a little bit of kiwis tonight. Big shout out to all the Kiwanis if you're with Key Club. And study hard. You have your finals coming up, and then you'll be out for the summer. So enjoy. You can do it. For those of you expecting a new Dragon Ball Z video from me, I'll try to do one. I have to get more of the energy drinks because I was losing a battle. Right now I'm doing one of the DLCs where it's Future Trunks and Future Gohan. So I'll be sure to do that for you guys soon. Okay. All right, guys. Talk to you guys later. Until next time. Everything's on the website. Zack.coffee, zack.coffe. All the podcasts, July Radio, and all those are on lefrenzy.co. LEFRENY. I'm sorry, ZY.co.